Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of the Boozy Botanical Podcast.
Yay! Welcome, welcome.
I'm Angelique.
And I'm Holly.
And we're here and ready to do the things.
We're ready. We're here. We're ready.
I feel like it's been a minute
It has.
since we recorded. Like it happened. You guys don't know that.
It's been like, I think 2 weeks since we've recorded or something like that.
So.
I miss you.
I miss you too. Like, where is she?
No. What have you been up to like the past 2 weeks since we haven't recorded?
I've got updates for you guys, plenty purchase updates. But before we get into it, what are you drinking, Holly?
Oh, okay. I'm drinking. It's a brand called Cann, Cann, and it's cannabis-infused social tonic.
Ooh.
Blood orange cardamom.
Cardamom, you got it.
Yeah. So good. They also have a lemon lavender. I'm obsessed. They're
That sounds amazing.
They're tiny but mighty.
Yes. What is the is there any CBD? Is it mainly THC?
It's a little bit more CBD, but there is THC in it.
I want to try that. I've never had it.
So good.
Oh my gosh. And I love the packaging. It's so cute.
It's so cute, right?
I'm actually trying for the first time on camera.
Ooh.
It's my very first time. It is the Golden Road Fruit Cart Hard Seltzer. I'm having the strawberry pineapple. Josh told me it's really good. It's only 4% alcohol. So
Yeah.
it's a Saturday morning. It's easy to ease right in. And just so you guys know, neither of us are sponsored by these brands, but wink, 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 wink. But they're just so good. And
So freaking good.
I just want to share it because it's just amazing. This one is, it even says made with real pineapple juice.
And you know what I like about the Golden Road ones is it's a little bit more sweet, but I think you're still right around the 100 calorie range, like White Claw.
Ooh, let's see.
Truly, I think. I hope.
I'm listening. Maybe 12. Why did they? Everything
Sometimes you have to Google it. It's weird.
113 calories.
Okay, so there you go.
Right around there. Yeah. I just also, for anyone that's in the LA area, or if you're not, but you're into like brews and stuff, Golden Road is local to Glendale, which is really close to where you live. So we're just keeping it in the neighborhood.
Yes, supporting local businesses.
Yes, I loved, pre-COVID, getting to visit their spot. They have like a huge patio. You've been. We were together once.
We did. And it's so funny.
cute.
That's kind of how we designed our front yard with the grass and everything. The whole time we were like, think Golden Road. Because it's so fun. It's very like summer party, and they have like turf and like those lounge chairs and bright colors.
It's so cool. Yeah, I think they have like games and stuff too.
Yeah, yard games.
Yeah.
So cute.
But getting right into it, you were asking what's up with me. How's my week? So I think I've officially made my biggest plant purchase, like the most expensive plant I've bought.
Girl, tell us.
I don't think I've talked about this on air. Have I talked about how much I paid for my fiddle fig? I don't think on air.
We talked about how big it was.
So it's pretty big boy. So previously, when I was moving into my place in Burbank, I moved to Burbank in like early October, and I was like, gotta get a new plant, new home. So I got a fiddle fig, but I got the one. Can you tell me what I'm supposed to refer to it as? Like, it's top heavy with leaves. It doesn't have leaves from the base up. Does that make sense?
So sometimes they're sold as more like trees with like they're
a
trees.
trunk. A teeny tiny trunk.
Basically, I think it's the way they shape it. So sometimes you can like, I forget what they call it when you get new growth. You can like pinch it off. Like you just like snap it.
I
like
just
the new
imagine
little
like getting nipple piercings when you did that.
You're just like that's how I've seen like on YouTube videos. They're like, I forget what it's called, but
people cut off puppies like the tips of their ears for looks.
Yeah.
Oh my god, do I need to throw away my fiddle fig?
No.
Is this canceled?
No.
Wait, so they pinch the new growth.
Yes. But what it does, it causes it to branch off. There is a word for it. I'm just blanking on it. And I'm sure people listening are screaming.
It's like
No. It's just like it causes.
I hear they call PETA for plants.
No. All it does is, well, I guess they sacrifice a baby growth to have a branch.
It's an abortion.
Oh God. No, it's not.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm sorry. It's early. Okay, so you're kind of redirecting the growth.
Yeah.
Because it's a detour. It's like a fork in the road.
Well, it's the same example as like when you propagate something, it'll send new growth out everywhere. So essentially that's what you're doing with the fiddle fig. You just cut off the new growth, and then it branches out. And then I don't know what they do with the lower leaves, if they intentionally cut them off or when they just fall off. But the one that I have is more of just like an overall like bush looking, which is not my favorite. Like I prefer the one that you have. It's so cute. So is there a specific name for it? Probably, but I'm blanking on it. Sorry.
Top heavy fiddle.
Top heavy.
But I see what you mean. So it's just, it's a manipulate. I guess it's not a propagation in that sense, but you're manipulating its direction.
Isn't that what they do with like bonsai trees
I think
and plants?
so.
Yeah.
Someone let me know if I'm wrong, but I think I read somewhere with bonsais, you know how like oftentimes you see them being sold on the side of the road on top of like a car, and it's like they're in tiny little pots. Mm-hmm. Supposedly, I could be 100% wrong, but if you keep them in like a tiny pot, it'll only ever be a tiny tree. It'll stay encapsulated in what it's in, but if you upgrade the pot, the tree will
gets bigger,
blow up.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay, maybe not blow up, but like the bigger you go, because I've been to I went to a garden not in Pasadena, maybe in Pasadena, somewhere in LA, where it's like going to Huntington, but it wasn't Huntington. It was a different place. And they had a little Japanese section and it was gorgeous with koi and everything. And they had big bonsais. And I was like, what is this? I'd only ever seen them small.
Right.
Huntington does have a section of bonsais too, where it's like this. And I think someone there told me that it's like, as you give it a bigger pot, the whole tree blows up. But it's like, it's interesting in that if you keep it in a small pot, it'll just be content, I guess, in that size. So I just think that's interesting that it doesn't really overgrow it.
Right.
Which is cool.
That's a whole other like avenue that I haven't really.
Let's look into it.
I know.
But my big news. So my fiddle I got in October, and I technically paid for it.
Okay. But it was big.
It was big, and it came with I don't think it's considered rattan or wicker. It was like thick, dark brown woven wood basket. Do you know what those are called? It's not wicker. It's a different material. It's like thick though.
Grass or I don't know.
It's like a wooden, it's a woven wooden basket. And it was huge. They used it as like a cash pot. Like the plant wasn't in that. It was in a nursery pot and whatever.
For decorative
reasons. But I didn't like it. And I was like, I knew I didn't like it before I bought it.
Oh, and you were going to resell it, right?
Yeah. So my intention was like, if I can make $20 off of that basket, I'm satisfied. And I did. I sold it for like, no one combated me on Marketplace. They were just like, yeah, I'll pay 20 for it. So I was like, how much is this thing worth?
Right.
But so I really just paid 50 for it because I knew I wasn't going to keep it. So I was like, that's not a bad deal for the fiddle thing.
That's a really good deal.
Yeah. But I've just been in a really big spendy mood lately between plants, between clothes. And I'm not like a big shopper when it comes to like buying clothes and things for myself, but
you're on a roll.
I was like, maybe I'm depressed. I don't know. Like I feel happy, but like I don't understand what's happening. But I've been peeking. I don't know. Maybe it's because we're doing this now and I talk about plants more often than ever.
Yeah.
And I'm around all of your amazing plants that I like don't have. So I just keep peeking online for more plants. And I found someone selling a philodendron mame. Is that how you say it?
That's how I say it. Mame.
Mommy. I say mame.
A plant mame.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be cute. We call them plant mames.
Oh, so cute.
Okay, rebranding to plant mames.
This is the plant mame podcast. But it was really cute, and I'm paying. It has like, okay, so it's one decent sized leaf. I don't know until I see it. I'm picking it up today after the podcast.
Yay.
But I think it's like this big, and then it has some new growth. It's small, and I was like very hesitant, like to actually spend like $85 on it because I've never spent that much on a plant. Have you ever spent that much on a plant?
I think 80 has been the highest I've spent on a plant.
I've surpassed you. Tech by $5. But it was, very like up and down because this person was selling a gloriosum and I was just like, everyone knows I want a gloriosum.
I know.
But it didn't pan out. And he was just like, are you looking for other things? And I was like, I mean, I don't know,
always.
Maybe I am.
Always.
Not according to some people, but to me. So he sent me tons of pictures and I was like, this is cute. I think I've seen this in Holly's house. And it was this person, the seller has been so kind on Facebook. I ended up, and I didn't tell you this, I saved it for the pod, but I got the mame and then like I sent him my Venmo and we're going to meet today. And I was like, by the way, cause he asked me what I liked and I gave him a general idea, but like he has a huge collection. So I don't think I was sent everything he's selling. He was trying to curate it to my interests.
Nice.
And I was like, I meant to ask you, I know you didn't send any photos of this, but do you happen to have a Monstera Peru that you're trying to sell, because that's another one on my list. It's been on my mind for like a month. I don't even think I've talked to you about it. I've just been really
I don't
liking
think so.
them. I like how firm the leaves are. Like when you touch the bumpies, they're just like
like corrugated or whatever.
I learned a new plant word. Is
corrugated leaves?
Is that what it is when they're very bumpy?
That's
like,
what I've heard it called.
I call it texture.
Yeah, textured, like
corrugation.
Bumpies. That works too.
Corrugated leaves.
Yeah.
Look at that. But I just love them. I even like when I was in your bathroom, I started touching your Peru a little bit.
The one that's rooting.
Yes. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to feel this afternoon.
It sounds so sexual.
But he was like, well, are you looking for only an established plant, or would you be open to a cutting? And I was like, I feel like all the Monsteras I've worked with have been easy to root. Like I'm open maybe, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, they're kind of slow rooters.
Are they? I know. I have a feeling. But he sent me a picture and he was like, it's a 7-inch leaf.
Ooh.
It's
wait,
big.
really?
Yeah. According to him, and I'm trusting him.
According to what he thinks 7 inches is.
I know. Some boys, you know, like they're like, it's 12 inches. And I'm like, is it? I think it's 5. You know what I mean?
Yes,
though? But it did look quite big in the photo. I got sent some private pics. And this leaf did look quite big. And I was just like, I've been freaking wanting a Peru for so long.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? In general, I buy established rooted plants, but like he was able to sell it to me for $20, and everything I've been seeing on Marketplace was like 40 to 50 and up.
Oh, really? For the cuttings or for plants?
I think both. I think I did see some rooted for like 35, 40. And it was like, I think I would have paid that. But every time I've messaged people, I'm too late. And I'm just like, I freaking want this plant.
I know.
I'm going to take a chance and see. And if it dies, even though it sucks to lose money, I can handle 20. Mm-hmm. It's the 85 where I'm like, I can't kill it. I'm going to die. So we'll see. But you're going
to do great. You're going to do awesome.
And then he's gifting me a staghorn fern and then some random other philodendron cuttings. So I think overall I'm getting my money's worth. So I'm pretty excited.
It's a deal.
Yeah, it's a deal. So I'm excited.
So excited for you. Like, I can't wait to see this plant. Mm-hmm. I really want to see the mamey specifically, like how big the leaves are. And
we've talked about it. Photos are deceiving, but it looked quite big.
It did. It actually looked bigger than mine.
I'm just kidding. How did you acquire yours?
It came through a trade.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It was a little cutting. I can't remember. I feel like maybe it was rooted. But yeah, it just had the one leaf and then it shot out a whole new little branch thing.
I think they're so cute. I like that their new growth is like kind of reddish pink.
Yeah.
Reddish more so,
like,
maybe.
I'm trying to look at mine. So it's like the stems. You kind of see
the stems.
A little bit more red.
I think they're really
petioles, whatever.
Petioles. Yes, there we go. Red ass petioles. But that's my little update. So I'm excited. So
congrats.
I'll be getting it today. So
yay. Oh my gosh.
What about you? What have you been up to, Miss Busy Bee?
I've been up to, some things, but the main thing in the forefront is that we are moving. And exclusive information here.
Is this like the first time you're talking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is so exciting.
I know. So I'm moving.
What's going on?
So I have been downsizing my plant collection, and we are moving to Florida. I know.
Everyone's so pissed off. The amount of plants you're going to have access to.
I'm so excited because I visited there before, and their Lowe's and Home Depots are just like amazing. And it's near Orlando. It's a little beach city called New Smyrna Beach.
Aww.
It's so pretty. Like it's on the Atlantic side, so like the water,
warm.
It's warm. The sand is beautiful.
I think there's more sharks.
It's the shark bite. It is. It's the shark bite capital of the world, apparently. New Smyrna Beach.
That's so cute. That's a look. Maybe you'll get your honorary bite.
Oh God!
I'm so sorry.
I'm so scared,
dude. Kill my co-host, and then I'll just snip your butt.
That's what you're trying to, just to snip the Raffi after all. But you have to come to Florida to get it.
I know. You're like, I already snipped it.
I know. So it's exciting. It's a vibe, much different from California, obviously, but it's an adventure, and we're going because we have a really cool opportunity to work on a YouTube channel. So it'll be really fun.
And then also doing like with someone else. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really, really fun. And Tyson has family out there. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun. And, it's like we won't be there forever, but it's kind of like I just want to enjoy it while we can,
You don't have kids, you have pets, which are more easy to work with, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So it's like you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe in future episodes, you can fill us in on how you're moving your collection.
I totally will. Yes.
Oh.
Yes, because I've moved a handful of times. Like Tyson and I, my husband, we've moved a lot, but we've never moved across the country. We've only ever moved from Arizona to LA by myself, but then we've just moved in and around Los Angeles. And each time it's just kind of been like, okay, load the plants in. Like I'll put them in containers and whatnot, but it's never been this like involved.
Well, you didn't even have plants in Arizona. So you only moved plants in one city.
Yeah.
Which are like, okay, let's just take a load.
Totally.
Balance them out. And then like you're in the car for 30 minutes, more or less, right?
For sure. And like that was already like stressful enough the first time. Then when we moved here from Eagle Rock, it was like, okay, well, we're just down the street. So like you said, lots of loads and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're watching on YouTube, you can see behind me, I have this giant Anthurium Ace of Spades. It has a wingspan of like 3 feet.
Was it like 37 inches? You and I, Holly and I measured it the other day. We're like, how the hell are you taking this to Florida?
I'm so scared. But I may, so there's like technically 2 plants in there. I'm warming up to the idea of separating them just so I can like put it in a box and it's not going to be like, get hurt or whatever.
Laying around.
Oh, yeah.
It's also in a Wally grow, which isn't like a normal shape.
Yeah. So you can see there. I love the way it looks and I could possibly pot it back together like when we, get there, but we'll see.
It's an Anthurium, you said, right?
Yes.
Are they known to get temperamental when they're disrupted? Like their roots and will it be able to just like pop back in together once you move?
Well, I mean, as far as potting, like repotting goes, I don't a huge issue around that, but it's more so like I hope it doesn't go into shock just from like the move in general,
Right. But how many states are you going to drive through? Let's see, California, depending on the route you take.
Yeah, so I think you take the 10, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and then
is Louisiana before Georgia? I think it is.
I think it's yes.
Louisiana.
Then I think it's Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida.
You'll hit Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. Did I count Georgia? I think it's 9 states. If not, it's 8.
Well, and we don't have to go through Georgia.
Oh, you don't?
No, because basically the panhandle, the way it is, you go kind of like down through like the panhandle, and then you go down the coast. Yeah.
Look at that. You got a history lesson too, guys. Look at that. Geography. What's up? We do it all.
Well, and I only know because when Tyson worked on Duck, we drove from Louisiana to visit his family in Florida. So it was like a 12-hour drive. So through like
12. I think almost be a nice 3-hour drive.
Yeah. No, I wish. Because it was like he was wrapping up from that show. And then we're like, well, before we like go home, let's just
go visit.
Yeah, it was the first time we got to visit. So it was really fun. But
that is so cool.
Yeah. So,
oh my gosh, we should definitely do a follow-up episode.
Yes.
Once you figure out your formula of moving, I think that could be really insightful and informative.
Yes.
That means the same thing, doesn't it? It's like, I think I want to know how to do it, you know? Like, because now you helped me move my biggest plant at the time, which was the Monstera.
And I was just like,
Holly's just like in my car, just holding them up.
And you're like, careful. And I'm like, it's fine. That's just how I am with plants. But no, I was taking very good care of it.
I know you were very good, very good. Well, I'm sad, but I'm excited for you. My mom. So the other day when I stopped by to talk business, my mom called while we were hanging out, and I told her you were moving, and she was like, "What are you gonna do without her?" It was really cute. I was like,
"Are you tearing up?"
I was like, "Mom," but it was so funny because it was I was like, "Yes," but like, "Mom, I have more friends." What do you think?
Because we're always together.
I was like, oh, Mom, like, yes, what am I going to do? But also, like, I don't live alone. Like, I have people in LA. She was like, what are you going to do?
I have Josh.
I have a boyfriend. She's like, that's not enough.
That's so sweet. I love your mom.
Very cute. I think she's more like, what am I going to do without Holly? But like when she can't come into your house and steal food.
just clementines or whatever.
Have we told anyone about that?
I don't know.
I know we got to get into the meat of the episodes. I'll make this
we
so
have
quick.
like 5 minutes. We're fine.
Okay. Oh my God. So I was checking on Fitzy while you were out of town for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like August, right?
Yeah.
And my mom was in town at the same time. So I was like, Mom, come with me to Holly's house. You won't regret it. And my mom walks in and she's like, it's heaven. She like loved your house.
The sweetest thing.
Yeah. She didn't care about the cat. She was just like, look at everything. And you had a fruit bowl in the middle of this table with clementines. And I'm like feeding. And my mom's like, I'm going to take one. And I was like, I'm just okay.
It's fine. I truly don't care.
I was like, okay, Mom, whatever. And like, she's like, eats like 2 of them. She's like, just really quick. And then out of nowhere, hi, Angelique. And
because I was drunk in Vegas.
we're both like,
so
what
okay,
is that?
because we have security cameras, and whenever people come over, like I swear we don't watch people. It's just that like we get an alert to our phone, and I'm like,
Of movement. Yeah.
correct. And so I'm like, we were drinking, having fun. And I don't even remember what I said to you.
Like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. You were like out walking around town on the strip.
Okay, I thought it was.
It might have been later.
It's Vegas. There's no time
Maybe
in
it was
Vegas.
7. I don't know.
Time doesn't matter when you're in Vegas.
Time means nothing. But yeah, we hear like, and then I hear Tyson, hi, in the background. And we're both like, and my mom's like, drops her clementine. And you're like, poor Mom, we can see you.
But I didn't even know she was eating. I just was like, hi.
I think my mom felt, she was like, I'm eating a clementine.
Oh, I feel bad that she felt bad.
Oh, it was, she deserves it. It was so funny. It was so funny.
I think that's so cute.
She was giggling while she stole it, being like, I'm gonna get clementine. And then you caught her. My mom's guilty face is really funny. It's like that's what it looks like. And I laughed so hard, Holly. I laughed so hard. And then we FaceTimed you and you're like, hi, Angelique's mom.
Oh, I remember that.
To this day, I can't say her name without your mom being like, oh my God. It's so funny. You're like, eat all the clementines you want.
So like, please.
My mom's like, no more.
She's traumatized.
Like,
every time she looks at a clementine, she's like, oh, God.
I was like, Mom, every time you ate you like took a grape while shopping at the store. Now this is what you deserve. You got caught.
Oh my God. I have a funny story about
Tell me.
Okay. I remember like when I was little, Latina moms, they're like, just try a grape. We just have to
Make sure it's right.
So,
It's hard as a rock.
so me and my sister would go around and be eating grapes. But then my little sister, when she was little, she was like, she took an apple and went, and my mom's like, Haley, no. She's like, just with grapes.
Did you guys buy the apple?
I'm sure we did.
Your mom puts it back, bit part into the crowd,
just hiding it. No, but she's just like, no, only grapes.
Like it needs to be on a vine. Like
it's like, well, I mean, it makes sense. Like, how does she know like what fruit
you're
is okay?
Training your kid to just like sample the produce section.
My mom's gonna kill me when she listens to this. Like, Holly, it's not true.
How dare you defame our family?
Sorry, it's
that
true.
Is so funny. I have a friend. I won't out you because I love you so much. But she was saying, she was like, I gotta do what I gotta do. If I need some ginger, I'm gonna just.
Oh my God!
It made me laugh so much. I was like, I shouldn't be okay with this, but it just makes me laugh so much. Oh, dude,
that's too much. That's hilarious.
So much thievery at the supermarket. Well,
oh boy.
Speaking of someone who thieved our hearts, stolen our hearts,
absolutely.
Who is our plant poppy this week, Holly?
Our plant poppy is Brandon/Brando from TikTok, and he's amazing.
I love you.
So fun.
I haven't met you,
Brandon.
But I love you.
If you guys aren't already, make sure you follow him on TikTok. He is very informative, so much fun, has really fun TikTok lives, and we will also get into this more too, but he started along with his friend, a plant shop called Monstera Plant Company. And I'm so excited. They just launched like this week or last week.
So by the time you guys hear this, they'll have been up for about like 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, they launched like less than a week ago.
Yeah.
And this shop is popping. Like it's
popping
not,
up.
You hear plant shop and he sells plants, right? there's a lot of things.
There is so many like
jewelry, like clothing
from tons of different artists.
Burping, sorry. Go ahead, sorry.
No. Yeah, I was just kind of like adding to that. Like, I think you got earrings from him, right?
Did.
Yay.
He has this wonderful artist that he's featuring on his website, and they make the most beautiful earrings. I can't remember exactly the material right now, but I will post on my Instagram once I get the earrings because I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
And they do you can do Amazon Pay, which I like it. I like it when shops do that because it's just all your stuff's already in there. So that's an option.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but they sell everything. Like I saw on their website they even sell like planting tarps for indoor use. Like,
I love those. I need one, but yes.
Yeah. And they also sell like I don't know if they sell this, but they had a list of like our favorites on Amazon too. So it's very like cool about like sharing the love and everything. And what's his handles, by the way?
His handle on TikTok is BR_Anaconda. And then if you want to follow their plant shop on Instagram, it's monsteraplant.co. And I think he is on Instagram, but I don't know if it's a plant Instagram. I'll have to double check.
He posts both. He posts plant pictures and like non-plant pictures too. And super friendly on Instagram. That's how he and I connected via you. And super friendly. I believe he's in Minneapolis.
Yes.
And I I'm saying this now to you and Nicole. I want to do a trip with you to Minneapolis, and it'd be so much fun.
Oh wait, is it Wisconsin?
I'm pretty sure
Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon.
I'm like so sure it's Minneapolis.
Hang on, I thought.
Hold on, guys.
We're gonna check.
I was gonna do it the whole time. I don't want to be too annoying.
Gosh.
I'm like really sure it is. Well, oh no,
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh,
that's what.
My bad. I feel
my God, we are all over the place. Sorry, Brandon.
No, but I love you so much, and I didn't mean it. But Nicole is in Minneapolis.
Yes.
I got
all you need to know is that Brandon's awesome. Go watch his TikToks and go shop at his new plant shop.
And tell him we sent you.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. But we love you. And thanks for all your support with our show.
Yes.
You've been such a light and just so sweet on everything. And
absolutely.
We truly appreciate you. So
truly. Yay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Well,
we have an episode.
Quite an episode ahead of us. It is all about what, Holly?
It is all about soil and soil.
Soil for days.
Things
dirty episode.
It's a dirty one. We're going to talk dirty.
What kind of mix do you use, Holly?
Well, that's so funny. Oh my God.
But seriously, what is your preferred soil mix? Like, I think that's a good jumping off point.
Yes. So
and we'll talk about why.
So for me, I think if I like had it my way, what I would do is just buy Dela Plants. She has a soil. She came out with her own soil. So good. It's with a company called Tanks Green and stuff. So they call it Dela Tanks. Her soil is fire.
I haven't used it yet.
It's so good. But the problem is that people know how good it is now, and it's always sold out. But yeah, our girl Becca, her soil is chef's kiss. It's phenomenal. But if I'm not using that, what I like to do is I usually just start with the base of Fox Farm, and I will mix charcoal, either orchid bark or cocoa chips.
Okay.
And pumice. I used to use perlite, but now I use pumice. And I think that's it. I don't think I'm missing anything else, but that's kind of like my go-to.
Do you, are you more of you eyeball it? Cause that's what I do. I'm just kind of like,
yes.
Sip, or do you like 1 teaspoon of this? And
I eyeball it, and I try to go heavy on the additives to make it super well draining. So like I love to add tons of either bark or cocoa chips.
Okay.
And obviously charcoal as well. So as long as I feel like it's fluffy enough. But yeah, every time I make like a video or something mixing soil, people ask me for like exact measurements, and I'm like, oh no.
You're like, until it looks nice.
Like
for me.
1 handful of this, 2 handfuls of that.
You're like, I'm Latina. Do you think I use measuring cups? I don't, like, who do you think I am?
I don't even use that in the kitchen. So like, I don't know.
Right.
But yeah. What about you?
For me, so pretty similar. You are my
Sensei.
yes. Thank you. That's what I was like, what do they call that?
I've been watching the Karate Kid spinoff, or
Cobra Kai?
Yeah, Cobra Kai.
Sensei. You're my planty sensei. Plantse. So cute. Are we canceled for that? I don't know. Better not. Plant say it's here to stay. Yeah. Oh my god, rhyme kind of. I'm on a roll today.
Okay, if we ever have a t-shirt.
Plant say, be my plant say.
But then we have to have like a little like a I don't know, karate kind of person on it. So because they might be like, what's
karate person?
I can't think of words.
Artist. Yeah.
Now I'm canceled for calling them karate person. I meant like, you know, when they wear like the uniforms, the white.
You're self-conscious now.
You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. Totally. Yeah. Like they're uniforms. Yeah. It's a look.
Anyways, go on. Let's just move on.
I think it's cute though. Be my plant say.
Yeah.
I'm into it. So for me, very similar because you've taught me well was my whole point. But so previously, origin story really quick.
Okay.
In the last 6 months, I've committed, I think, to Fox Farm fully. But before I was using Unigrow.
Okay,
UNI-GRO, which I think they're quite good if you're on a budget. And because I don't know for sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen Unigrow sell, what is it when it's like the big bags? The something CU, like, you know, the huge soil
like
bags.
Giant bags.
Yeah. So I've never seen Unigrow sell that big. So when I first got into plants, I knew about Miracle Grow, like everyone does. And
for sure.
Our friend who was helping me get into plants, we had gone to like the hardware store and she was like, well, this one it's like a good place to start. So I was doing Unigrow for a long time because I lived in a tiny apartment and it's like this big generally.
And they're pretty cheap too, which is nice.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap considering the size you get. I mean, I had to go to the store more often, but it wasn't ideal to store a huge gardening sized landscapey big bag.
Absolutely.
So I would do Unigrow, and then for the longest time, the only additive I had was perlite. So that's all I used. And then whenever I would work on my succulents and cacti, I would try to buy their Unigrow cacti mix, which was pretty chunky. Like if you're new and you either don't have access to Fox Farm or you're on a budget, like that's a really good one, especially for your outdoor plants.
Yeah.
But eventually I was like, I started getting to the point where I was really getting active in my plant collection. And I was like, I'm going through soil a lot.
Yeah.
And I asked for your advice and you were like, Fox Farm's the way to go. Especially and even then, Fox Farm, like depending on the hardware store you go to, like you can get a big bag for under $20.
I love it. Yeah.
And a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
So I specifically, with that one, I used Happy Frog first, but I've transferred to Ocean Forest.
Mm-hmm. That's the one I use.
Yeah. I like Ocean Forest a lot because it's pretty, and they advertise it this way too. It's pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
But I still do my additives, but like,
it's nice.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, I was going to say it is nice because like, let's just say, oh shit, I ran out of pumice or whatever. Like I feel confident just kind of using it. You know, I would like to add more stuff, but if I have to use it as is, it's not the end of the world.
Exactly. Like, and if you're a newer plant person, because if you get overwhelmed is what I'm saying. Because for me, at first I was like, there's so many things and I'm not good at science. Like,
what do they mean? And
the additives used to overwhelm me. I just add one additive every few months to my life. Yeah. I just try to understand. And that helps me a lot. Like
it's kind of fun at a certain point.
I like it a lot now. But at first I was like, oh no, charcoal stresses me out. I don't understand it. So if you're new and you're willing to get like a good sized bag, I would say Fox Farm Ocean Forest is safe if you're not ready to be mixing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, my favorite mix, I get Fox Farm Ocean Forest and I'm the same way. I just like make it, just throw it in. Yep. I was using perlite a bunch. I just ran out of perlite and now trying out pumice per your recommendation.
Yay.
So very recently, as of the last 2 weeks, my formula has changed. But previous to that, I was doing charcoal, orchid bark, perlite. And then I think that was it for the most part. I've never used cocoa chips, so I'd like to hear more about that in a bit. But I don't even know what they look like. Are they whatever?
You know what? They're in this pot right here. Because this is the De La Tanks mix.
You planned that.
I wish I did. You know,
is that it?
I don't know. This might be. I'm gonna make a mess. I'll show you.
Okay, cool. I need to know. But yeah, that was my mix. And for people that are like, how do you eyeball it? When I can see a pretty amount of white from the perlite. I was like, that looks good. That looks kind of like what Miracle Grow does.
Right?
So
or you can like put your hands and your fingers through it and just like feel the fluffiness
chunky,
and if it runs through your hands, you know what I mean?
It's like, it feels, I don't want to use the word dirty again, but like when you're a kid and you're just getting into the dirt and you feel all the little rocks and pebbles.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how your chunky mixes should feel. Like, it's not like I've gone to like Lowe's or wherever, bought a plant, depotted it, and it's just in whatever soil they used wherever. And it's very like soft.
Yeah.
Which feels amazing, but I imagine that's probably not the best. I don't know.
Right.
But it's like a fluffy little cloud. And I'm like, ooh, what are you? But you're probably killing my plant. But
the Espoma brand is like, Espoma, their brand is like that.
Is that what it's
so soft?
But
oh my God.
No, but is there additives in
There's
it too?
not a whole lot.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But
I think I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. This is what like
I got excited.
Episode 5 where I'm just like but no, it's okay. It's okay. But let's get it together, Angelique.
Okay,
get it together.
It was like the chunky.
Oh yes. I don't actually remember. No, it's okay.
It's all my fault.
No, I mean, I guess. I'm just kidding.
God, I suck.
I think pretty much what I was trying to say was like, that's how I know like it's too dark. Like seeing like a pop of perlite every few millimeters. I'm like, that's it. So if you're unsure, just make sure you can see a nice spread of white or gray if you go into pumice. And I'm really enjoying pumice.
It's so nice, huh?
Moistury. Like it's,
I don't know. The cool thing about pumice too, it has like trace amounts of, I want to say nitrogen. So it's like a very, very low amount of fertilizer. So it's kind of nice.
That's really cool because fertilizer also stresses me out. I don't really feed a lot of my plants. I do some, and that's something we can talk about later. But can you explain to everyone kind of going into like pumice versus perlite and everything, why you made the switch? Because I was like dumbfounded when you explained this to me, and I was like, never again perlite.
Well, the main thing too, I guess, like first off, it's not great for the environment. Apparently, I haven't done a whole lot of research beyond that. And then sometimes if you breathe it in, it can be dangerous. But what I like now, I know, because when sometimes you open a bag and
it's like freaking crack. I was like, someone thinks I'm a dealer. Like my neighbors see me over the fence. They just see clouds. Go ahead.
So, but yeah, so, I mean, I will use it for propagation because I think it's great for that and it's moist at that point. So it's a little bit safer. But it's, if you like crush perlite, it just kind of disintegrates and turns powdery.
Yeah.
So it doesn't last a whole lot of times. And then what ends up happening, what I found, and actually Becca from De La Plants, this same thing happened to her where perlite eventually floats to the top. So if you take a look at
my mind.
Yeah, like if you guys do pot with perlite, take a look at some of your maybe older plants you've had for a while. And if you see a lot of white at the top, like
yellowed white, you know what I mean? Like old.
Totally. It just kind of rises to the top. So then what happens is you're left with no air pockets down in like the middle or the bottom of the pot. So your roots just become more and more compact. And then it can lead to like root rot or roots drying out and then rotting. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that sucks. But what I really like about pumice is like it literally does layer because it has some weight to it, like they are like, I believe, I want to say some kind of lava rock or something. So yeah, they layer so much. Now I will say recently I repotted my Thai constellation and it was pretty much the only additive I can't talk. Additives.
Let's get British with additives.
Additives.
There you go.
So it's all I had on hand. And normally, like I said, I like to use bark or cocoa chips or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it was just overall a little too heavy for it. It was pretty much just like rocks and like soil. So that ended up kind of rotting the roots. But if you guys, if you use a good amount of like other things too, it's literally so good.
So do you recommend for our Latina measurements, healthy amount of orchid or
cocoa
chips? Can you really go too much with those or just like a healthy little grab? We have small hands, so do it that way you will.
Well, it's not that it's like you can go too much, but what I have had in the past is like plants would dry out too quick.
Yeah.
So like I did have a Hoya multiflora, and it was in a small pot, which was terracotta. So that's already
it's already working against you in that sense.
And it was mostly bark because again, I just like ran out of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So technically no, but also just think about like what does your plant need, you know?
And you might be watering like crazy.
And what kind of water you are for sure.
Okay. So maybe like a little cute palm of orchid bark, cute palm of charcoal. And then do you do for the pumice less than that? Would you go lighter on the pumice, or do you just
potentially maybe
just
like
it's heavy, you were saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd probably go a little bit more heavy on like bark and things like that. Cause it's so interesting with orchid bark, it actually does retain moisture too.
Right. That makes sense.
But what I like about it, it could be with the small ones too, or like the bigger ones. It just adds so much more fluffiness and layers, you know?
And they can and the roots can grab onto the wood, which is really nice.
So even though it does retain moisture, I feel like I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like a big part of what it does is actually provide drainage. So
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you think then for the people who, my mom's calling, sorry. I accidentally denied her call and never called her back.
Oh,
sorry, Mom, I'm not dead. What would you say then for the people who want to use leca? I guess this is more getting into propagations, right?
yeah.
I've seen people, I think maybe you, correct me if I'm wrong, propagate with perlite. And I don't know if you've propagated with pumice yet.
I have once. It's okay.
Okay.
You know?
And then, so what, like, I guess in your experience, what is your preference and what do you think about leca? Because we've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I was kind of interested in it till you told me about all the science, and then I was really put off.
I know. Well,
and I'm listening. I just want to let her know I'm not dead.
Of course.
Okay.
Well, I feel like leca as a growing medium, because I know we talked about propagation. Like a lot of people will propagate in leca, but then a lot of people also grow plants in leca like full time. Personally, I'm not like, I can't say I don't like it because I've never actually grown a full plant in passive hydro, semi-hydro, whatever.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't really have a huge interest in doing it.
Okay.
It's just like such a thing. And then the little Cocoa Puffs roll around. That's
what Josh called them. So when I bought my Rhaphidophora, for a few days, it was just in the shower while I figured out what I was going to do with it. And he's like, why are there Cocoa Puffs everywhere? I was like, I don't know. And then when I was trying to get the roots to let go of the leca, I kept freaking rolling around leca all over my house, just kept falling.
Such a bitch to clean up.
Yeah, I saved it because I was like, maybe I really wanted to experiment with it, but then you told me about pH levels.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I was like, this isn't a pool. I'm not about to do this.
I know.
So what's all that about?
So yeah, basically like leca is like I think they call it like a sterile, like growing medium. It's literally just like clay balls. If you guys haven't seen them, little tiny.
No nutrients.
There's no nutrients. Yes. So you pot it up just like you would, with soil. But then what you want is like a water reservoir that's like, I think just a third of the way filled up with water.
Okay.
But you have to mix nutrients in that. So a lot of hydroponic stores sell them. And I don't know exactly how it works, but you put it into like a gallon. So it's like 1 drop of each nutrients, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you test the water for your pH levels because that can really affect plants too. And then they have 2 things that you can add, either make it go more acidic or more neutral or whatever that word is. But so it's literally like a pool. Like I remember in the 90s, my dad would be testing the pool.
He had the vials, pink, blue, purple. My mom she does that to that's like her therapy. She loves working on the pool.
Yeah.
She's like,
my dad would really get into it. And he's like, oh, can't swim in it. I put some stuff.
Right? It's crazy.
Yeah. So anyways.
It's just like hard.
I know. I think I
go ahead,
cut you off again. My God.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to cry. No,
I'm bullying you.
I don't even feel cut off. Just go on.
Well, all I was going to say is I just have fun with soil.
I do too. I think it's fun to get all mixy with it and stuff. Maybe when I'm willing to work on the science, I think I'll try leca just because I just want to know, because I liked how thick and juicy the roots were, but maybe that's just how they are. It has
like
nothing to do with the
Monstera
leca.
roots.
Yeah, like I don't know. We'll
I
see.
hear Hoyas really like leca or pon, which we'll also talk about that.
Can you let us get into pon and then what's hydro? Whatever. Wait, what did you just say?
Oh, hydro, semi-hydro or passive hydro.
Can you say that really quick? Like, or is that later?
Oh yeah.
Like, what is it? I don't know what semi-hydro means.
It's just it's literally growing plants in leca. It's like I don't know the exact definition, but when people say that they grow, if they use leca, they'll usually say I grow them hydroponically or in passive hydro or something like that.
Oh, so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, calm down, guys. Calm down. Got it. Okay. So then what's this pon business?
Well, I'm very intrigued by pon. I need to
PON, right?
PON.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's this brand called Lechuza Pon that I know people use a lot, but yeah, it's just called pon. And it kind of, when I look at it, it looks like a bunch of different colored pumice because it is like rocks.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure, now I would need to just triple check, but I'm pretty sure pon is the same as leca where you need to add nutrients.
Okay.
But the difference is people will water it like they would with soil plants. So, I mean, I have seen both. Sometimes they will do the whole reservoir thing when it's pon, or Lechuza Pon, they do sell pots that have a water reservoir and it comes with the pon material.
Okay.
So it's kind of like your preference, but I know specifically a few people who grow Hoya in pon and they just water it like they would with soil. So I think that's kind of cool because it's very chunky and Hoyas love chunky mixes. So
but you wouldn't use it as an additive to soil. They are separate.
I don't think you would want to because it's kind of expensive.
Oh, got it.
You know.
Okay.
You could. And I know some people make their own pon too, which I haven't. If you guys follow Lesia's Leaves on YouTube, she's so sweet. Hi. I believe she has a video of where she made her own pon.
Very cool.
And she's super knowledgeable. There I go again, slurring my words.
all good.
She also is very knowledgeable on leca and that stuff too.
Very cool.
And for even more semi-hydro, follow Minimalistic Callie, Tiffany. She is like the queen of semi-hydro. So anyways,
she'll know more than us.
Yes, I just had to mention her because she's like the godmother of it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on to how our soil mixes react to certain pots, I wanted to throw in really quick. A user on Instagram actually reached out to you and I asking about more of, I guess, the composting element of working with soil. So full disclosure, we've never really tried it. I think my mom has tried like eggshells in the past, that sort of thing. But I did some research and I think it relates more so to like when it comes to feeding your plants, fertilizing. Because I did some digging and different things do different. Did
she ask for a specific thing or was it just like
kind of like the concept of we were mainly discussing eggshells, banana peels, and is it coffee beans or it's like coffee grounds?
Used coffee grounds. So because she was telling me, and go for it, anyone, let me know how it works. I guess Starbucks can give away used coffee grounds for plants, which I thought was kind of cool of them that they do that. I was looking into Starbucks for that too because I'm in the process of a fertilizer project. I'm just going to say that. And so I was looking into them for that because it does provide apparently a good amount of nitrogen to the soil. So
what was it? It was, I can't even read my writing, along with drainage, aeration, and there was
moisture retention, maybe?
Moisture retention. Yes.
Nice.
So it does more than I thought. I didn't know. And the other thing, so that's kind of with the benefit of coffee grounds, but okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. And then with banana peels, I mean, obviously potassium's the big thing, but it also provides a little bit of magnesium, nitrogen, and I think I wrote something phosphorus as well. And it can serve as, I don't know if it's a full replacement, but I think it can be if you're on a budget. It can serve as a replacement to slow release fertilizer.
Nice. So would you put it on top of the soil or do you think you would like?
I've seen both. Yeah. I've seen people kind of mix it into their soil and I've seen people kind of put it on top.
Okay.
I literally am improvising here, but if I were to mix it in the soil, I feel like I would just like cut it, make them little squares if I was going to mix it into the soil. I wouldn't
want to like attract any bugs or anything.
That's the big thing that's put me off with the, because I don't think eggshells would really attract bugs, but banana peels, it's like rotting food.
Well, I heard somebody say that, you know how some people sprinkle cinnamon, that it attracts roaches?
I've used cinnamon as like a really hormone.
Yeah.
I've used it for like when I make a chop.
Yeah.
And then I just
because it has like an antibacterial properties. And
but
stuff
some
like
people will just like,
I think because so many people get very worried about fungus gnats. And so
yes,
I think which honestly, I'm not like, I don't care that much.
They don't hurt the plant. They're just annoying.
Yeah. And although apparently to someone on TikTok, she knew. She's like, no, they will kill your plants. I'm like, okay.
Maybe she's going through things.
Yeah. I'm just like, you
calm down, lady.
Anyways, I digress. But yeah. So
okay, cool.
Just, I guess, to be careful if you are going to try that stuff.
Yeah. If anybody has experience, particularly with banana peels, DM us, let us know, because I'm curious, because there's sometimes where I'm like, damn it. I know people use this for something and I'm just throwing it in the trash, but it's also like the fear that you have about bugs and stuff. I guess I would like more information on how to utilize the banana peels. Eggshells I've seen on top as well as and for eggshells, you can mix it as an additive, which I thought was kind of cool. I think those are the easiest. If you want to get into natural additives, I think that's an easy one to start with.
It does remind me.
Calcium.
Oh, there you go.
That's the thing. It's calcium.
I did hear that, like, for people who compost, that eggshells take a long time in the compost bin
to decompose.
Yeah. So I've heard some people say they do not recommend it, but I mean, like, people swear by it. So I just think you got to just try what works for you.
Yeah. And I think too, it depends what kind of area you live in. If you live in a very metropolitan area and you don't have like generally a yard or space, composting to me seems more difficult. Because I heard it's most ideal to have a compost bin, and it's kind of like a little side project that you're constantly working on. But I've had friends in Tucson in Arizona that have the space and they really enjoy composting. Like one of my friends' ex-boyfriends worked at a juicery, and he would just take every little leftovers of everything home, and he was doing great in his garden.
That's awesome.
So I think like it's something that neither of us really know much about, but it's science.
Yeah.
That's my answer to everything. It's just science.
It's just science.
But really quick, Holly, I know you and I, the age-old question is like ceramic or terracotta,
right?
That we've talked about in past episodes. So for me, because by the way, guys, the whole reason we're doing this episode, the initial idea was like, you were helping me repot something, or you're giving me advice on something.
The silver stripe, right?
I think it might have been that one, which we'll talk about at the end. We got a little news regarding a silver stripe and you. Yes. Wink. But you know what? It was that plant, but there was another plant before that I think was a pothos. And we were talking and you were like, you said something and I was like, wait a second. I can give a pothos orchid bark?
Oh, yeah.
And you were like, duh. And I was like, you did not say that.
Duh, Angelique.
I'm just so mean. I'm just trying to paint you as a horrible person. And then I was like, wait, why? And then you were like, every plant likes to be well draining. Like there's no.
If it's in a container, usually, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I thought that simple, easygoing plants like pothos and maybe even some philodendrons would just be fine with soil and a little perlite. That's what I always thought for like a year and a half.
And technically they could just be fine.
That's the thing. Like I've had one of my pothos that you gave me is currently just in that, but I'm going to repot it soon and give it more of some chunky love and see the difference that it makes. I think that's what it is. I think it's like they will survive. Right. But will they thrive without the chunk?
Yeah.
You know? So the chunk.
Sounds like you said the chub.
What, the chub? Oh.
I don't know why I whispered.
I survive. Whatever. I think we all survive with some chubs. Whatever. I don't know.
I'd say it's essential to life.
I mean, we were saying chub. I was thinking chode. And I was like, I've never actually experienced a chode, but... Oh no, Mom, don't listen.
Oh, we have to like put a parental warning on this episode.
A trigger warning. May cause you to disown children. But yeah, chubs are important in all aspects of life. But chunka. So yeah, you had told me like, give your plants, give your pothos and philodendrons some orchid bark, some charcoal. And I was like, let's go buy some. And that's what I bought them.
Nice.
And it just blew my mind, the fact that like all plants like well draining soil. Because to me, it was like, I don't know what it was, but maybe in my head, it's like the loss of water was a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
because I think the main thing is like all plants like well draining. It just depends on how much moisture retention they want or not, you know?
right. Which I think is when you get into the specifics, like what does a calathea need, which we talked about in the last episode, because they generally like more humidity versus like a pothos might be more chill and that sort of thing.
Or if they don't want to dry out, whereas other ones appreciate to be dried out a little bit.
Yeah. So then what do you think in terms of, can you go wrong with a chunky mix in ceramic versus terracotta? Because I suppose terracotta, you are automatically going to dry out faster, right?
Which I love terracotta. You know, again, I wouldn't necessarily put a calathea in it. But what I have done in the past, this was kind of like, not necessarily a hack. It was more like an accidental thing. But when I first got my Ace of Spades, I had, funny enough, a spoma soil, which is the very soft one I talked about. That doesn't, and it doesn't have not a lot of drainage, but then I had it in terracotta. So I felt like the terracotta allowed it to breathe and it balanced it. That
makes sense.
And now it's not the best thing you should do, but like it
survives.
Yeah. And it's like something you can think about. Like if you are going to have terracotta and very well draining, like you might have to be watering it a lot more.
That makes sense.
I will always suggest, if you're going to use ceramic, to definitely do well, like especially if you think about alocasias, where they want moisture retention, but they don't want to sit in water.
Right.
So it could be a good option to do like even like pond or something very well draining, and then in ceramic, you know?
You know, that's funny you bring up alocasias, because if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that this past week, I did a successful science project.
Oh, yes.
I don't think I've talked about this on the show, but I have an alocasia poly. So very long story short, my friend Travis, he was moving out of the country and he gave me an alocasia poly that wasn't doing well. And I rerooted it in water. And then there was a little bulby just hanging out. And I was like, what is this? And I even asked you, I was like, what the hell is this? And then it fell off, which I read online happens oftentimes. They just like, boop.
Yep.
So I saved it. I watched a YouTube video. This girl had a little tiny, if you have the little green top Tupperware from IKEA, you know what I'm talking about. A little tiny plastic Tupperware, put a little layer, if you will, of water and just put it in there, covered it. And I think she was giving it air a few times a week. I would give it oxygen every day. I would open it a little bit. This is the winter time when this was happening to me in like November or October, I think. So nothing was happening until like 2 weeks ago. Roots came out of nowhere. Yay. I thought it was dead. I didn't think it was dead because it wasn't mushy.
Right.
But I was like, nothing's happening. But you know what? It's because of you. I was like, that gloriosum didn't do anything for 8 months. It's true. So I was like, I'm not giving up on you, little bulb, because another friend gave me a tinier poly. So my goal was to put them all together and make a plant.
Had leaves.
Yes, that was a 2-leaf plant.
Nice.
If I'm not, with new growth that was dead. I actually pulled it off the other day, but 2 leaves for sure. And my goal was to pot them all together. So I waited and I waited and I waited. And finally I got roots and I was like, oh my God, well, I'm going to wait a little longer, let it get more established roots. But even though I don't have a ton of roots on this bulb, it started opening up a leaf.
I know.
I was like, I think it's time. It was like
I'm ready.
It was crowning, if you will. So I potted it up last week and it's so happy. And now it's open. I'm so excited.
It looks so good.
It was like a 5-month success story. So like we can maybe talk about bulbs and stuff in another episode. I think they're really interesting and I didn't know a lot about them. But one of my first successful my first good science project is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But that gets me, when you were talking about alocasias and we're talking about soil, something that I've liked to do with my alocasias, let me know if you agree or what your thoughts are.
Yes.
I will do a chunky mix and then I top it off with sphagnum moss.
Yes.
Moss just on top. I don't mix sphagnum into the soil and I like to keep that like lightly moist. Like I don't soak it every day, but I give it a nice spritz just to keep a humid environment at the base.
It helps a lot, especially with anthuriums. I love doing that too.
But because your Ace of Spades has spag on top, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I know we didn't really talk about sphagnum.
Right.
Is it something that you are against mixing into the soil? Is that a no-no?
I've made what they call like dirty moss, which is like mostly moss with a little bit. I put bat guano or
Oh yeah. Oh, we haven't even talked about bat guano. Yeah.
and or you could also do what's the other one?
That's not guano.
No, it's
Worm
fish poop.
castings?
Worm poop. Yeah, worm castings.
Yeah.
So either or, and then just lots of pumice and bark and stuff like that. That's what I have for one of my anthuriums.
Okay.
So typically people not to, because it can just get a little too, I guess, compacted.
That's what I was worried about.
And not let the oxygen get to the roots. But yes.
So, but you're pretty safe if you do spag on top as like a top
like it.
dressing.
Yeah, I think it helps.
And that's good for alocasias is what got me thinking.
Yeah.
So then I guess you answered it already. Ceramic, keep it super chunky.
Right.
Terracotta, you can risk a less chunky mix
More
if you
or
have
less,
to.
yes.
Which makes sense because my big Monstera that you helped me move, at the time I was only using soil and
perlite. Yeah.
And that thing thrives. But I can get away with not watering it. I shouldn't, but like for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I give her a soak in the shower. Like I rain on it.
Right.
And then babies pop up like the next day.
I know.
But that makes sense. I wonder if I ever give it fresh soil, if I go more chunky, if I'm going to have to deal with an adjustment now that it's terracotta with more chunk. Does that make sense?
Like an adjustment, like you think the plant
will
might
dry out more.
It
faster.
might. It might.
But monsteras are also like chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Thai constellation who keeps getting root rot.
Girl.
But yeah.
But you still have your pretty leaves. So it's good.
But yeah, I think the last thing I wanted to quickly talk about with our soil additives is charcoal. Just real quick.
Oh, yes.
Because there's a difference between horticultural charcoal and activated charcoal, which a lot of times you can have, they call it horticultural charcoal and it is activated, but pretty much like why people like it is they say it absorbs impurities and absorbs odor and like wards off bugs. Now, the difference is what people say it has to be activated, which is pretty much just like they process it at a super high heat so that it actually does absorb things. Because I read an article that said like if you just throw it in there, it's like if you put a sponge into a sink and you expect it to absorb all the water. Like it just needs a little bit more like stuff that happens when it's processed and activated. But I love it.
You use activated then.
I believe so. I think it's called Horticultural. If you guys buy from Pistol's Nursery, they specifically say that theirs is activated. So,
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's a little like just in general, activated charcoal can be a little bit more pricey than horticultural. But again, I think it's like you just kind of read the bags a little bit.
Well, that it just hit me how we were talking about during soil, like Unigrow versus Fox Farm. For me, even though I use Fox Farm soil, I get a lot of my additives from Unigrow because they sell it at like Virgil's and stuff like that. And I feel like that charcoal, do you recall? I think it might be horticultural.
I'm almost positive it most likely says horticultural.
That's what I thought.
You just have to read and see if it like says activated or whatever. But I think it's great for drainage, and I never have fungus gnats when I use it. So
do you think you can put too much charcoal? Because remember when you were helping me with my silver stripe, I was I was like, you're going to town, Holly. I'm always like,
I add a lot. I don't think so.
It's not going to hurt your plant because it's a cleanser. It's not really a draining situation as much.
I mean, yes and no, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It cleans things up.
It does.
Oh my gosh. I know you guys, we can go for days on soil. I know there's more specifics that we can get into. So if you have any major questions that we didn't cover, maybe we'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good jumping off point. Like if you're new and are like, how do I start?
Yeah. And what are all these additives and what are they for? Like,
so quick week recap. When in doubt, if you can, Fox Farm Ocean Forest.
Yes. Or Dela plants.
or Dela plants. Orchid bark.
/ cocoa chips.
You can substitute either one. So cocoa bark or cocoa bark. Cocoa chips or orchid bark.
Yeah.
Charcoal, pumice, or perlite if you have to go perlite.
Yeah. And then, and we said charcoal. And if you're already using straight up soil, you don't have to really add like bat guano or worm castings. But if you're just like mixing everything, usually you'd start with a little bit of cocoa coir, and then you'd want to make sure to add the poop.
The guan. Does it smell?
No.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I couldn't handle that.
Get in there.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. How gross.
No, you're fine.
It's the end of the episode. I'm getting weird.
I'm like way more chill with this. I think I'm gonna, for our next episode, switch to something with alcohol in it.
Yeah, and I need to calm down. I have to pee so badly.
I do too.
Literally for like the last 30 minutes.
Me too.
I'm squiggling.
We're gonna be racing to my one bathroom.
I know. I'm gonna go piss in the grass or something, I think.
That's what men do when they visit our house and they really have to pee.
No.
Like, just do it out where Stormy
goes.
goes.
It's offensive. It's like, I can't do that. And I think that's really rude.
But we get the bathroom.
I guess that's better. It is better. I just want the right to be able to do it easily. Women's rights.
We should be able to pee in our yards if we want to.
No issue. Just like this. But before we go, we've got an announcement.
We do.
Oh my goodness, Holly. Take it away.
Oh, I feel so honored. Okay. So we are doing a giveaway.
In honor of our launch and all the support you guys have been giving us. We wanted to give back to you. Oh, we're so excited.
So what are some of the things we're giving away? Well, we are
samples.
A brand new not terracotta. Oh my gosh. Terrazzo pot that is going to be launching in my shop very soon.
It has not launched yet.
It has not. If you guys have seen my coasters, which I'm so happy with those. Yeah, you can kind of see them if you're watching on YouTube.
Cute little thing on the back.
Made from the same material. I really, really love it. It has a beautiful bright green color with like pink and black chips and so
yellow.
Fun.
And it's your own formula that you actually you churn all the terrazzo and everything yourself.
So if you guys know that I usually do painted pots, but I'm kind of moving into working with this new material that I'm in love with. And yeah, it just allows me to create like these real cool looking terrazzo products. So,
and very smooth. Like they're really fun to touch.
Yes, I know. I'm like, so yes, I'm so excited to be giving this away, and I can't wait to hear what everyone says.
With a drainage hole.
And
then for me, I'm giving away a little piece of my collection. Yay! I have a pretty big philodendron silver stripe. I keep seeing people posted online as silver stripe / cream splash, but there's a difference, right?
Well, I think there's like names. There's different names.
I call it silver stripe.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that. So
cute.
We're going to give away a cutting along with the other goodies.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll be rooted. I've kept it in water and I'm checking on it every day. So hopefully I would like to send it to you rooted, but if not, philodendrons root pretty easily, I would say.
They totally do.
Quickly. So we will make sure it's packaged all nice and cute for you. So that's another goodie. And then what was the other thing?
We have a sun catcher. Freaking love those. And then an enamel pin, a little planty pin.
It's going to be so cute.
Yes. Lots of little goodies. Who knows? We're probably going to add a few more little things, but those are the main exciting
We're getting it together.
And
go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what are the rules?
Oh, yes. I'm on it. So what we'll be doing, we'll be launching this very soon. So once you guys are hearing this, I believe that's when we're going to launch it as well.
Uh-huh.
What?
Oh, I forgot to say liquid IV too.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. So you can't tell any difference, but this water is not just water. It has liquid IV in it. Also not sponsored, but we're obsessed with them. So
we're going to hangovers.
They're amazing. Yes. So if you've had a boozy planty night, you need liquid IV in the morning. So we're going to throw in a few samples of liquid IV for you to try it out, because me and Holly both swear by it and are obsessed with it. I don't drink enough water. I try my best, but I've been sucking at it. And so this has been really helpful. Like every drink you take, it really feels like refreshing.
Yes.
It's so yummy.
So good.
So we're going to throw in some of those as well. But for the rules of this giveaway, which we'll explain on Instagram as well, it'll be the usual, like you'll follow our boozy account, our personal accounts, and then we'll have you do a review on Apple Podcasts and we'll rate and review. And I believe what we're going to do is, we'll explain it once we solidify how we're going to verify the reviews, but it'll either be like a screenshot situation that you can DM us, or we will review it personally on Apple Podcasts. If you can just tell us what your username there is, because I know like a lot of our Apple ID sort of things are kind of weird. Some of them are really random. So
slide to open, or what was that?
Brando's a slide to unlock.
Slide to unlock.
Yeah. So we're going to work out the verification process for that, but just give us a little rate and review, and then you can tag friends, I believe, onto our post for some bonus entries, and then sharing it to your story, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So pretty simple rules.
You're going to get a planty gift. You're going to get a little tiny pot. You're going to get liquid IV. pretty. And then
Yes.
the sun catcher, we were hoping to get it from a local seller that we both really love as well.
Yes,
And then
yes,
maybe a
yes.
little pin. So it's going to be a nice
Yeah.
little gift pack
It'll be
of
fun.
planty things.
I can't wait.
So stay tuned. I imagine if you're hearing this, we've launched it. I think we're launching it the same day.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
We'll have like where you can read the instructions and the rules. And
Right, you're not gonna have to like write this frantically down as you're hearing it.
Yeah.
So it'll be way more simple than how I'm explaining it.
don't judge us.
It's our first time, guys.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm really excited.
Aw.
I'm happy to share like part of my collection. It's and for all of us. And I want people to like try your concrete stuff
I know.
and everything. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be really good.
Really quick before we go, you guys, you can follow the podcast at Boozy Botanical Podcast. You can also send us an email at boozybotanicalpodcast@gmail.com. We post episodes every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and
All the
iHeartRadio.
things. Yeah.
All the things. Even iHeartRadio, guys. and then, you're at Concrete Botanical _
Yes.
or Concrete Botanical on TikTok.
That's right. And then also concretebotanical.com for pots and propagations and all the things.
All the things. And I'm at Seca for Plantas. And my other podcast is at So I Got Fired.
Yay.
So that's
All right,
that.
guys. Well, thank you so much again for another episode. And cheers.